Okay. As we are trying to reach out and share our Chan technology to more and more people, one of the fundamental teachings of Chan is what? The first thing you need to learn about Chan when you do Chan is what? Okay, when you're warming up, I answer myself. One of the first lesson you learn when you practice Chan is that never practice Chan. Wait. It doesn't sound right. Can I take it back? Okay. Do not do Chan. I would not do Chan unless I have a good knowing advisor. GKA. Okay. This is, to me personally, the most important lesson in Chan technology. You want to learn Chan, okay? You ask yourself, who is my good know advisor? Who is my GKA? Why is that? Second question today. Are you warmed up yet, or shall I answer myself again? What happens to people who practice meditation, it's so commonplace. What happens to people who are very eager to learn Chan, who are very motivated to learn Chan, and they make this one mistake, and I see it over and over again, is that when meditation is very useful knowledge for you, and what happens is that when you learn meditation, learn the proper way, okay, including in the Chan world, okay, because I was at my Chinese master's temple, I learned Chan meditation from them, okay, is that the training and meditation training is very, very powerful, very useful. That's why you make progress fast. So what happens is that to most people practice Chan or Son, or whatever you call it in your language, is that you make a stride forward, you make progress, you take a step forward. What you don't realize is when you make a stride forward, okay, most of them make 2 strides back. So that's what happens to the people who practice meditation. I've seen it over and over again. They make progress, they have more samadhi power, they have better concentration, so that's a progress. But that's one step forward. But invariably, they would take 2 steps back. Okay? Because this is the nature of the spiritual practice. We make mistakes. Okay? What happens is that if you have more concentration, if you're stronger, okay, you can do more. That's a fact. Okay? You can achieve more. But if you're not careful, you will also can do more damages to yourself. So the secret about this meditation is that in a Chinese meditation, in a Chan wisdom, Chan world wisdom, if you learn from the great teachers, you know what the patriarchs, Chan patriarchs have been transmitting to us is that find a good knowing advisor, because what the good knowing advisor does is that it shows you the proper way of practice, okay? That's what all good teachers are supposed to do, but much more importantly, because you can find good instructions of Chan online, from the books, from various sources, but what you cannot find is someone who a good knowing advisor, in our world we call it good knowing advisor, or a wise mentor, experienced mentor in the professional world, in business, okay? Great companies, they train the new people, especially the ones with potential, by assigning mentors to those people, okay? So that the mentors, the good advisors can help us not make mistakes that will make us regress, that will bring us more trouble. And this is what happens. People think meditation, increase concentration, and you can do more. Actually, along with that comes the responsibility of not creating damages. And part of the mentor, part of a good knowing advisor's job is to help you avoid making that mistake. Okay? So that's why as we are teaching, sharing our Chan technology to more people, and we're holding more classes at various places, at DTT, and more, we add more and more classes. I need you instructors to understand it. This is our philosophy, okay? You're teaching Chan because you're teaching under the supervision of a good knowing advisor. In other words, you're teaching Chan as a Chan instructor. You also do it. You also are doing it under the supervision of a good knowing advisor. That's part of your training as well. Okay? So everything in a Chan world, okay, we ask ourselves, who's our teacher? Who's our good knowing advisor? If there's no good knowing advisor, it's extremely dangerous for you to practice on your own. No two ways about it. Okay? If you are practicing on your own, most people, most Caucasians, most regular people that practice meditation, they get nowhere. Year after year after year, they sit in a chair, they sit in a sofa, they lie down and sleep, do sleep meditation, do lullaby meditation, do smiling meditation, doesn't matter, okay? They won't be able to make much progress at all because it's a wrong technique, and also what those people don't realize that you make a little bit of progress forward because that means you gain strength, you gain more stamina, and what you're not careful is that with that increased strength, we increase concentration, we increase stamina, you will mostly create more karmas, bad karmas, that will make you regress. So one step forward, 2 steps back. That's what happens to the people who practice meditation. Okay? So Chan meditation is about learning the proper technique, having the proper foundations so that you can make progress, okay? Improve the quality of your life. But also equally important is that you must have someone watch over you, advise you to avoid making mistakes that are detrimental to your mental health and spirituality. So that's why this is one of the biggest lessons in Mahayana meditation is do not practice on your own. Okay? Because it's not worth it to me. I tried, and for years, without any good no advisor to depend on, I was actually going nowhere. And I was lucky. If I was able to make progress, okay, here's another aspect of it, is that if I were able to make progress, my ego would be inflated, and I would have thought I was special. And then I don't listen to anyone anymore because I got there on my own. It's not about whether you make progress or how quickly you get there. It's about how far you can go to realize your potential. In the Chan world, is that when you practice Chan, there's another second rule. You can be better. That's number 2 lesson you should learn, is that Chan is a way of life. When we talk in a Chan world where you can be better, meaning your life can be better. Your life can be better. How is your life can be better? By your becoming a better person. Your quality of life is related to your moral fibers. People of the world mistakenly believe that the quality of life depends on external things like what? Money, food, houses, cars, clothes. Okay? You eat too much, what happens to you? Chinese wisdom. What do the Chinese have to say? Eat well, what happens? If you eat very well, what happens to you? Chinese wisdom, Taiwanese wisdom, come on. Hey, Taiwanese person, real Taiwanese, well, half Taiwanese person. What happened? What is the Chinese saying? If you eat very well, what happens? You shorten your life. You know that? You didn't know that? This is very Chinese. Wait a minute. It's so interesting. If you eat good food, you have an excess of good food, you shorten your life. See, the Chinese are checking their own stuff. They don't trust me. They say, you don't look Chinese. Okay? And so the quality of life doesn't depend on externals. Your quality of life depends on your moral fibers. Our parents never taught us that. So that's rule number 2. You want to improve the quality of life, become a better person. That's the bottom line. If you think you're making progress by stealing, by scamming others, taking drugs and so forth, you're not going to be happy, period. Yes, it's nice to have more money. It's nice to have more fame, more recognition. Nice to have a nicer house, better clothes. But those don't last. The real happiness is from inside. Okay? Xian, this is when instead of checking your phone, you beat up on the manic ghost. He's throwing a tantrum. Okay, so that's the second rule of Chan meditation. You can be better. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Do not let anyone convince you that that's all you got. We have unlimited potential that can be unleashed through Chan meditation. Do not settle for less. Okay? Doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how young you are, doesn't matter what kind of nationality, ethnicity, level of wealth, level of education, doesn't matter. Okay? You can still be better. All right? Any questions? All right, Wei Mao.
Emitofuo, Master. I do have a question. So, within the community, Spanish-speaking community, we have been trying to translate the word outflow, and it has been bringing different type of questions. I have been reading other videos that you talk about outflow. And one question that I have is, for example, childhood trauma or childhood trauma response, is that outflow? And another question is, because we are looking to translate it, is outflows such as, for example, in a company, there is cash outflow. So this one for us will be energy outflow. And I would like if you could expand on that for, because I have been having these questions. Thank you, Master.
Okay. You see that? If you didn't beat up on the ghost, he would have continued to scream louder and louder, because that's the nature of the little goblin, is that he escalates. Okay? So you beat him on it, that's why he calms down. He was on the way up. He was misbehaving because the ghost is pulling his strings, throwing tantrums. Okay? It's okay, but not while I speak Dharma. It's okay. They can throw tantrums at the temple, but that behavior from the ghost is unacceptable. That's why we punish the ghost. Understand? This is a lesson for all of you. The kids can be themselves, but as soon as you recognize that the ghosts are manipulating our kids, our people, this is when we enforce the rules. Okay? All right. When you talk about issues of kids like that, okay, we should have hands off, because it's a delicate situation, and it's a no-win situation for us. Okay, if I just explained to you there's a manic ghost who chooses to misbehave and pull the boy's strings to misbehave, okay? Especially in our environment, this is what they do, okay, to disrupt us. And so what do we do? If we beat up on the kid, we look bad. We beat up on the ghost, no one knows. So it's a no-win situation for us. Because when we do that, okay, we are creating karmas with that ghost ourselves. Okay? It doesn't end there for us. Okay? And so you should know your limitations, how far you can go, how far we're willing to go. Okay? And so when you translate into the Dharma into Spanish and so forth, be careful. Try to stay away from the controversial topics, okay? And because it has too many different ways to slice and dice it, that it's not productive our time to go into it. Okay, when you solve problems, let the good know advisor solve it, because it's specific to each situation, to each person. Okay, and so try to stay away from those controversial subjects. There are plenty of materials. Okay. All right. Anyone else? And those types of topics require one-on-one type of thing. Should not try to provide a general answer for, when we do that, we open a can of worms. It's not good use of our time. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Good morning, Master. I have a general question about living contemporary in our society today.
Yes.
It's occurred to me over the past few years, getting worse, that this society no longer finds a difference between lies and truths, honesty and dishonesty, morality and immorality, and even the most subtlest of contacts we as true believers have to make in this society is fraught with a lot of disappointment and suffering. For instance, you get a charge on your credit card now that's wrong, and if you call the credit card company, they'll say, well, you got to talk to the creditor. We can't help you. So you try calling the creditor, they don't answer the phone, they don't return your calls. But yet you're getting some stupid charge every month on your credit card that nobody will do anything about it. Nobody deems that really important, to be honest, today. So how, as true believers that we are, how do we deal with this? How do we conduct our life day to day in this?
That's cut up all our credit cards.
Good idea. Good idea.
Listen, if the credit card company is not helpful, cancel a credit card. That's what I would do. Get another one. Switch companies. Okay, there are plenty of credit cards out there. And in the US, customer service is very important. If you're not happy with their service, okay, switch. We have that luxury. Okay, number one. Number two, you're asking about the state of society where there's so much dishonesty. It's very hard you need to fend off, especially for senior citizens. They're preying on us, They see us as as praise for them. And this is life. This is the deterioration of society because of the people on top. That's how they behave. They don't care. Everyone is for himself or herself. Our politicians, okay, are stuffing the pockets with money. Okay? Yeah. And because they can get away with it. Because they make the rules themselves. Okay? And the attitude is that if you didn't, someone else will. So what's the big deal? Okay? But that's not wise to do that. Okay? Just because others get away with it, just because it's there, why shouldn't we take it? Because it's morally wrong to us. And when you do something morally wrong, others may not know it, but you know it. You disapprove of yourself. Your good nature inherent in you, what we call your Buddha nature, is really pure goodness. You have this good nature inside of you that disapproves of it. So you have this conflict. You live in conflict. You get away with stealing, from lying, from scamming others, taking drugs and so forth. Okay, but your Buddha nature disapproves. And and ultimately, what you're gaining is very short term. You're creating when you steal from others, when people steal from others, they are inside, they're more unhappy themselves. Okay? But it's not about your question. Your question, what I'm reiterating for you is, yes, this is a sign of the times where we are incredibly, increasingly victimized because we are more and more helpless. Okay? That's the way it is. So what are we to do? Do the best to protect yourself. It costs more now. Get your ID theft protection. Learn to limit your exposure. Okay? Don't answer texts from numbers you don't know. Phone calls from people you don't know. Okay? Be careful when you get online. Have anti-spyware, antivirus in your computer. Okay? These are so because of the nature of the threat that's increasing every day, it will cost us more to protect ourselves. Okay? But that's from outside. What about inside? How are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do to cope with it? Okay? I think that's what your question is about. Yes?
Master.
Yeah? Okay. You cope with it by not doing it. Just because someone else does it and gets away with it and gets famous, by scamming others and selling them on stupid concepts and taking drugs so that they have an edge over us in terms of stamina and endurance. Okay, that's very short-lived. That's their lives. It's up to them. Okay, but we have to restrain ourselves and say, this is not who I am, because that's creating karmas. I'm only harming myself. That's number one. You don't do it just because people get away with it, so be it. But we don't do that. Okay? Number two, okay? Don't blame them. Okay? Your question tells me you're afflicted by it. You say, why did you take advantage of me? It's just life. People, you know G.I. Joe? There are a lot of people in our country. We open our doors to all sorts of people. Immigrants, legal or illegal, And because of that, there's always risks and consequences. And that's the nature of our society. Okay? We are generous enough to be able to do that. Okay? We're morally strong enough to continue to do that. It's a great tradition that I'm very grateful for, and I hope it will continue for future generations. That's what makes this country so special to me, so strong. Because in spite of all the bad things happening, we never lose faith that we should do good. We should not harm others. We should help others when we have a chance. And that's what makes us so strong, okay? That will help us survive all these challenges, okay? Because we don't do evil things. All right? And don't blame others.
Have a comment on what we're talking about. Something that I think about, I don't know if I can call it wisdom, it's not really a proven entity yet, but I can see sometime in the very near future when we'll all be forced to be immoral and totally disregard truth. We'll be sitting on a house of cards, economically, socially, spiritually, and to hold it together, we're all going to have to participate on the dark side of life. And I just want to know that I can develop the kind of wisdom in Sean that's going to allow me to live a righteous life.
Good point. Very good point. And thank you for asking that question. Yes, it seems unfair. It seems that it's bound to fail. We're bound to fail. It's true. The Buddha said eventually this world will be destroyed because people will be so evil. They don't deserve to live here anymore. They don't deserve a world to live in anymore because all they do is to keep on destroying it. Okay? It will happen. Okay? But you know what? It doesn't matter. It will be destroyed. Our world will be destroyed. Okay? And will become empty for a while. They'll be reborn again. It'll be reborn because of what? Of the good karmas we created. Because if all we do is create evil karmas, it does not deserve resurrection. So there are consequences. People are misguided, mistakenly think they can get away with it. But the nature of karma, from a Buddhist wisdom perspective, is that it will follow you. If you do evil, you will get evil retributions. So that's what I need you to think in longer term, where yes, it seems like all those people get away with it, okay? But it's only short term. Eventually, they will have to pay for their evil, okay? So that's why you believe that. It doesn't matter, okay? First of all, we don't do evil. That's who we are, okay? We refrain from doing evil, even though that we It seems like we can get away with it right now. We simply won't do it, number one. Okay? Number two, you're asking about what can you do to protect yourself. Yeah? Let me tell you. If you choose to do good and live a good life, I assure you, sir, there is a network of do-gooders who is in this world, who is a lot more powerful than the evil network. You know, the proverbial evil, good against evil? Okay? If you see the evil side so strong, so prevalent, and you see in the airwaves, in the news, okay, people do drugs, people cheat and steal and lie and so forth. They're famous, they have a lot of followers and so forth. Okay, they're very rich and powerful. They get away with murder. Okay, for that to happen, I assure you, G.I. Joe, this only happens because there's a countervailing force of goodness. Okay, when they're more evil, the goodness force increases. The more evil they get, we increase on our side. That's my belief. Okay? So you can rest assured that what does it mean for you? Rest assured that if you stick to the good side, okay, you will be protected. Okay? And then some of you might say, but I do good, but how come I still get in trouble? You got in trouble because in the past you did evil things. Shame on you. So now you have to pay for your evil deeds in the past. In the past, you didn't know better, so that's why bad things happen to you. Now, okay, you believe in that, then you don't worry anymore. You understand? You need to take precautions to protect ourselves. Okay, that's common sense. Okay, you don't want to tempt people. You don't want to leave a diamond on the table, your Rolex watch on the table, okay, to tempt others. That's not a very wise thing to do, just common sense, right? You should do the minimum. But what the real protection, Brady, is your blessings, generated from the good deeds that you created in the past, okay? And you're creating now, and you will create in the future. All those good deeds there accumulate, and they are the shield for you. And again, when I talk about the concept of network, you know, if they have evil people right there who become politicians, presidents, you know, aspiring presidents and so forth, okay? Red face, orange face, you know, yellow faces, whatever. Okay? There's always those people who are doing the things. I assure you, okay, these are the visible ones, but the good side is so much more powerful that they don't need to be visible. They contain these guys because these guys are bringing about the retribution for all the evil people. You understand that? It sounds complicated, but it's not us alone. We live in a world where we share with evil people, and they're supposed to undergo the evil retributions. It's called common retribution. Okay? We share the space with them. Therefore, we have our share of the evil things that are supposed to happen to them. The earthquakes, the tornadoes, yeah? Those are punishments for evil deeds. So ultimately, you avoid doing evil and you do good deeds, you stick to your guns, you get protection. I would not worry about it, but be careful, okay? Shred the credit card, okay? And limit your exposures. Yes, it costs more nowadays to increase our protection, okay? But that's the cost of living nowadays. It's getting worse and worse for everyone, no success. Okay? But the one thing that you should believe in is that by refusing to do evil and take advantage of others and kill and steal, as long as we can get away with it, we actually are contributing to society by not making it worse. That's all we can do. And we don't blame others. Whatever happens out there is a natural settlement of karmic debts. Don't get afflicted. Okay? I hope it helps. Anyone else? Ultimately, it won't be forever. What these people are so short-sighted. They only see, these short-term gains. Ultimately, I don't care how much money you have. You can't take it with you when you die. It's the folly of sacrificing everything, including your morals and your personal happiness and your peace of mind, by stealing, from scamming others and so forth. Those people are so unhappy inside and will not have a good end. When death comes, they will suffer tremendously and will fall, and they will suffer a lot more than the damage they are creating to others right now. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Master, beyond that subject, let's say we go forward. There's 4 different phases with formation, dwelling, decay, and emptiness. So during that decay time, there are only evils in this world, and where's the goodness? We don't fight anymore. We just let them kill each other and waiting for the right time.
What happens in Vegas happens in Vegas. Okay? Don't worry about them. We need to respect people's choices. If they choose to do things, they will have to undergo the retribution. It's not our concern. Our concern is that we try our best to live a decent life, a good life, responsible life. Okay? And by doing that, we'll reduce the toxicity of the world. It's amazing to me that people talk about EVs and so forth, and it's basically a scam. Okay, it's and the real pollution, to society is your afflictions. You're spreading your afflictions everywhere. You know that? When you're afflicted, you spread it everywhere you go. When you're angry, you're poisoning the air. You're poisoning the food you are preparing for your family. You're poisoning the atmosphere at work. Okay, that's a real pollution that no one understands and no one sees, but it's a lot more damaging than polluting Mother Nature. It's a lot much worse than polluting Mother Nature. But what really kills us is what will destroy the world. It goes into this decay is because of our stupidity, of our anger, of our greed, our three poisons that we are precipitating the decay of the world. On the other hand, if we don't do that, we refrain ourselves from obeying our evil impulses, we actually are delaying that decay. We're prolonging the duration of the world. And we actually are creating pockets where it's safe for small pockets where it's safe for people to come and get protection and get help, get breaks. And that's what we do without asking for recognition, without asking for help. We do it because we can, because we have the means to do it. That's all. It's not for recognition. It's not for profit. We do it because we owe it to our children. We owe it to our parents to have, in gratitude to our parents, we should have a good and decent life so that they didn't bring us to this world in vain. We would have a decent life so that we are a role model for our children, so that they can see. They watch us, they absorb. They're like sponges. They absorb all the evil and good energies that we have. So by doing good, by living with decency and honesty, we're influencing, we're acting as a good influencer. We call it Buddhist social influencer for our children, our friends, our relatives. And that's what we do. We don't need recognition. Okay? And that's will be extremely beneficial for each and every one of us. And this is the way of the goodness. We do good, we don't expect to be recognized. We do good because it's the right thing to do. And you see the benefits in your own immediate environment. Wherever you live, there are fewer earthquakes, there are fewer natural calamities. The economy is slightly better. Okay? And more importantly, to me, when I was younger, I refused to have children because I said I could not even handle my own life. How could I possibly bring children in the world? I can't handle children. I don't know what to teach them. But now I hope you all have 4 children at least. because we should spread, because we can do goodness and we need to influence our children, our next generation, to believe in doing goodness for their sakes and for the future generations' sakes. Because it's the right thing to do. Yes, Wei Mao.
Emitofuo, Master, I got a comment and a question. My comment is, I appreciate that you have been recently continuously reinforcing to do good and give us the confidence, the faith. Because I remember in the past, when you want to do good, but then there's always negative things coming up. So it was like a stuck situation for me and for many people. It was a very difficult situation. But nowadays I'm hearing that you encourage us to do that, and you seem to give us the faith and confidence. That's really, really good. Please continue to do that. Thank you very much. We really need that. And I have a question. You were talking about will cultivation moving one step forward, 2 steps backward. My question is, generally speaking, does that happen to Earth we cultivate with you? Specifically, is that the case for me? Thank you.
Yeah, it's natural for you to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. This is why you want to be in the ear someone who's better than you, who's been trained properly so that they can help you avoid making such mistakes. That's all. Mistakes are natural. Mistakes are necessary for growth. Okay? And we naturally make a step forward and then 2 steps back. Usually is the case. Okay? But with a good advisor, with the proper environment, you can use those 2 steps back as momentum to build so that you can leap, take a bigger leap. So it works both ways. Okay, and thank you for your comment, earlier comment. I didn't know what I was doing when I first started. I simply emulated my Chinese teacher, Master YongHua, who says, you should do good. So I said, okay, I try to do good, whatever it means. And it turns out over time, we are very lucky. We got a lot of support. And let me tell you again, what I just told you earlier came from my personal beliefs. We could have not survived all these years without the help, the invisible help, the silent help from the good network. Whether it's Master YongHua, whether it's One In Bodhisattva, whether it's those of you who buy into the concept of goodness, okay, and have been supporting us. It's all that help we received. That's why we've been able to sustain it. Because if we were fake, we were phony, I would be sitting here and telling you about how to do evil. Because I would have joined the other side already. So what I told you is from my personal experience. I've seen, I watched, I realized how much help we receive, how much support we receive, and that's why our community grows bigger and bigger and bigger because of all of you. The message I'm telling you is what you've been doing anyway. This message today is for a direction for newcomers and for all of you who now are interested in joining us and spreading this goodness disease. Let it spread far and wide because we're strong enough. We're strong enough so that we're not tempted by short-term gains from evil deeds because we see the big picture. Okay? That's called wisdom. That's Chan right there. Okay? Yes, you too.
Thank you, Master. I realize we're really getting short on time. I'll try and encapsulate this. This is from Hua, H-U-A. Emitofuo, Master. I'm wondering how to break up with my current girlfriend without getting hurt emotionally. Also, I'm curious about when is it morally okay to open up to a new partner without feeling guilty about it? Welcome to the new world.
When you think you intend to break up with your girlfriend, is that an evil deed or good deed? We're talking about evil and good deeds here today, okay? This thing, I think this belongs to the province of relationship counseling.
I don't see an answer yet, Master. So
it's very important in relationships that since this person here is new with us and asking about it, is that you should try to find someone who aligns with your morals. That's so important. You want a long-term relationship. This is the base. This is the foundation of good relationships. If you happen to be on the evil side, find someone evil. It will last longer, your relationship. If you're on our side, find someone with the proper morals. Okay? Without that, it's virtually impossible to have a long-term relationship. Yeah, go ahead.
I got an answer here. He says probably a bad one.
A bad one, then go to the bad side and ask for advices. No, seriously, think about your relationships, okay? I have a little bit of experience too. The relationships that can stand the test of time are the ones that always align with your morals. Okay, after the initial excitement, after the beyond the glamour and the glitz and the short-term excitements of alcohol and drugs and pleasure, okay, what lasts is in your heart, the impression you have in your heart. And let me remind you, your Buddha nature, if you do something evil, this is what happens to those evil side. They will find out themselves, and one day they will switch. I guarantee you that. On the evil side, they may be impressed and happy with the short-term glamour and benefits right now, but I guarantee you, in the future, after suffering a lot more than the gains they got from the evil deeds, one day they wake up, okay, and they will switch side to our side. How do I know that? I came from the other side. Oh, it's pretty good. Oh. Okay, good luck to you. Thank you, everyone. Let's go to lunch.